Hey, what up, guys? This is Kong, and I am doing another Star Wars review for you guys. Actually, season 4, episode 3 and 4. As you can see in the name of in the name of the rebellion. That's basically what it is. The name of the rebellion. I'm gonna talk about in about both of the episode for you guys. So the episode 1 is, Ezra and the gang, Sabine, Sandula, Captain Sandula, Kanan, Zab, and Chopper and Ezra. They go to Yavin 4, I believe, to meet up with the primary rebel, the rebellion. And, Ezra thought that he was gonna get more help to save his homeworld on Lothal. But the really, really, really interesting thing that I find interesting was Captain no was Senator Mon Mothma. If I say her Mon Mothma. Ma. However, her point was to Ezra is that we all have something to lose. We all have something that we care about. Our family, our home world that was being controlled by the empire, and she told them that she also missed her home world. You know, and she tells him that we have to fight for the bigger picture. We have to fight for basically the entire galaxy. And that's what Star Wars is about, is fighting against the Empire on a galaxy scale. And Ezra kind of been lacking that bigger picture mindset. And then they found this satellite, this Empire satellite out in somewhere in space. I can't remember exactly, but it is an advanced satellite or space dish, you could say, and it can like transmit message to other Imperial ships or transport and whatnot. It's a communication device. That's what it really is. And they go out and they try to not destroy it, but to listen in. To listen in to what the movement of the empire, and that's actually is a smart move, because at that one point they actually say, if we destroy this, the empire can just build another one, which is really true, because the empire got the money and manpower and resources to build many, 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 many advanced advanced communication system. And I don't think why they only built one, but there may be others that it's not being shown in the Rebels, Star Wars Rebels. There may be others throughout the entire galaxy, and I think that is actually more realistic, because from a strategic standpoint, you want to have multiple satellite communication, because the galaxy is so big. You need to have so many communication. So on that point, I think the Empire's not a Star Destroyer, but it was like a lower class, a smaller ship. It still poses a threat, but it's not as a threat as a Star Destroyer. And Ezra was like, pretending to be the captain, and he tells the name, and that was actually the same name as the captain on the Empire ship. It's like, I can't fault him for coming up with that name. I wish he would have sort of understand and follow the order, but yes, and you still have to improvise on the fly, because when you're fighting the Empire, when you are the rebel fighting against an Empire, you're not gonna always be in the same position. You have to adapt to the environment or situation that's going on. And that's smart. It's just that, you know, Ezra care a lot about his homeworld, and he want to just hit where it hurt to the Empire, and it sort of failed because, he pretended to be like the captain of the. He told the name of what his name was, and it was actually the same name of the captain. It was like, they could have just left it, and then just get away, but they didn't do that. And then enter Saul Gerrera. Saul Gerrera came in. I guess he had some intel. He knew what was going on, and so he saved them basically, and dropped some like bomb onto the communication satellite and destroys it, and they escape. And Ezra Sabine escaped with Saul Gerrera. And Saul Gerrera saved them for a reason, because he needed help and he needed to, like, quote unquote, recruit other for his cause. So Saul Gerrera, as you know, he in previous season episode, we get to see that he lost his sister on his homeworld. He is damaged by it. He is disheartened. He lost faith. He's a one-man army to fight against the might of the entire empire. He kind of loose cannon. He still, I guess you could say he still has some semblance of intelligence. He's not insane, that's for sure, but he's on the edge of craziness. Not craziness, but he's on the edge of madness. He's so into his goal. He's so motivated. He's so into fighting the Empire and beating the Empire at their own game. And that's true. Sometimes you have to be motivated. You have to be ruthless. Maybe even more than your opponent, more than your adversary, to win in the game. So Sabine and Ezra gets saved by Saul Gerrera. Part 2, or episode 4, is that Saul Gerrera had some intel that the convoy or transport was carrying something of great importance or great something that was gonna help the Empire win the war of some sort. And they go into this transport and finding out that they were prisoner, like a weapon, a power generator, a technician of some sort. And Ezra was like, we gotta save these people, because they're being held against their will. And so Sabine agrees with that, and then Saul was like, "Fuck them, man! I don't care. There's prisoner all the time. There's prisoner of war all the time. We are in the war. They're a prisoner," and he doesn't care. Saul Gerrera really care about his main objective goal, is to destroy the Empire. He doesn't care about anything else other than his own personal goal. So Ezra hears the singing like a song, but he doesn't quite know what it is. I can't remember. And then they go this transport chamber, and they found these people, and then they kind of say, okay, there gotta be more. So I was like, there gotta be more here. My intel can't be just useless for no reason. Then they go in and they find this black containment, and Ezra heard it. He's singing, and Ezra's like, what the heck? And they found out it was actually a Kyber crystal. And Ezra actually said that, when I was building my lightsaber, I heard it sing a song or singing. So it's like, to me, that was kind of the interesting point or interesting info, that these Kyber almost are sentient in a way, to not us mortal, but probably to the Jedi or the Sith, that they can hear the beyond the normal circumstances. And like I said, to me, I feel like these these Kyber have an essence in them, or they're sentient. Um, and then it all goes wrong. Obviously, it all go bad, go south, and they get trapped, and the escape pod are locked out, and the prisoner and Ezra and Saul and Sabine are trapped, and there's a little fight ensue, and then uh, Saul really just say, fuck this, I'm gonna blow this shit up. Um, and prior to that, another Star Destroyer came, and Saul saw the opportunity to one, destroy the Kyber crystal, destroy the transport, and destroy the Star Destroyer. Strategically, he is smart, but on a humanistic level, he doesn't give a fuck about anybody else. He doesn't even care about if Sabine or Ezra make it out. All he cares about is destroying the Empire. And so they're coming to the end, and then Saul was like, "Hey, you're gonna come with me, join my rebel, join my crew." And Ezra made the right choice and say, "Hey, this is where you and I depart," because I think Ezra realized that Saul doesn't have the same moral code of honor, of saving the innocent and protecting those who are vulnerable, and not injuring those, and fighting against the Empire on a more strategic level. And that Saul is really, he's a different person, and Ezra understand that he's not gonna get along with Saul Gerrera because they're two different people with two different ideal, where Kanan is really caring. He wants to save people. He wanted to fight the Empire. He wanted to make the better. He's not selfish like Saul Gerrera. Saul Gerrera is really a selfish man, in some way, in somewhat a good way. Good, he have a good intention, but the way he goes it is really bad. He doesn't care about people. He doesn't care about good people dying in the past. He doesn't give a fuck really, and that's what does. And then he realized that Saul Gerrera is a one man mission, and it just doesn't jive with Ezra and Sabine. And then Ezra's like, you know what? You fight your war, I fight my war, and we part away. And that is true. That everybody there have their own battle with the way they want to fight the war, and that's important. And that's kind of true in real life, because in real life there are many players in war, and many players have their own way of achieving their goal, and you just have to find the people who you jive with and who you have the same matching ideal. And Ezra's had that. He has Sabine, he has Ezra, Syndulla, Chopper, and Zeb. And that is his crew. That they share the same common goal. And so, yeah, and then obviously the Kyber meltdown exploded, destroyed the Star Destroyer, and Sabine and Ezra got saved by Captain Syndulla and Kanan. End of episode 4. So that's the gist of the story. Those are the few things that I find interesting. One, not everybody fight for the same purpose and how to beat the adversary. And two, interesting thing about the Kyber crystal that they actually seen and seem to be sentient. Only Jedi could hear it. And the third is that the ideal between the two faction of rebel are really different, from the standard faction and then from the extreme. Saul is really the more extreme end of this spectrum. So, yeah, and also guys, the more interesting thing was that when they spoke about Kyber, it made me think of what is it? I want to say Rogue One. You know what they had the Kyber crystal on the Death Stars, I believe, and the Death Star used Kyber crystals, I believe, and that's they kind of leading to you and making you think that okay, this is you know prior to the Rogue One, you know. So that was kind of cool, and like they kind of draw, kind of give you a hint, but they don't say it explicitly. You have to sort of put the pieces together, and that's kind of what I'm thinking. That Star Wars Rebel is prior to, I believe, is prior to Rogue One and before. Yeah, everything that happened before is Star Wars Rebel. That's and Star Wars Rebel is after Attack of the Clone. You know, I think the other Star Wars series. So that's the other kind of thing I kind of picked out and find interesting. What do you find interesting? Do you agree with me? What do you like or don't like about this new season 4, episode 3 and 4? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section below. And guys, I want to say thank you so much for your time and effort. And also, please like, thumbs up, share, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and browse my channel, guys. Browse. Anyway, thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye bye.